Hey, my dear friends, hope all is well. My name is Forrest Pan. I'm a web and mobile developer based in New York City. Welcome to my video series, Project Authentication for React and React Native solution with code sharing. Um, and today we are starting to work on video 1.4 that's focusing on mobile for login. And an exciting thing about today's video is we're going to have a lot of code sharing between our last video 1.3 web login and today's video 1.4 mobile login. Now let's start with a quick look at items on this agenda. First, we'll render a sign-in screen, then we'll work on UI, then we will actually use this sign-in screen to log in. So let's go to our terminal, and basically in here under Auth RRN root path, I did React Native run iOS. Sorry, init mobile, and if I return, it will create a folder for mobile. So I just need to cd this mobile folder, and I'm gonna npm install React Native navigation, and it will npm install, and then still within this folder, I'm going to React Native run iOS to actually deploy this project on this folder. So after successful deploying, we will see in here, meaning the deployment is successful, and we need to start working on our code. As we have said, we will do a lot of code sharing between this mobile project and our previous web project, because in that web project we already have an SRC with components, with nav and style, so we can just reuse them. I'm going to have these three. I'm gonna copy these three items. So under my mobile project, I need to so we don't have a SRC folder yet, so need to make a folder first. SRC, and then in our mobile project we have SRC, and we just paste those three items: components, nav, and style. So let's open our project in our favorite text editor, that is Sublime. Yeah, we have. Okay, so this is our mobile project. And we have our basic folder structure of SRC of components and nav and styles. That's exactly from our web project in here. So we need to do a lot of new stuff. So this is a web project. We have the same folder structure, components, nav, and style. But we will do our own thing for our mobile. But a lot of code has already shared. Okay, so in SRC, first we start with index here. So in here we know we're no longer import app from root folder app. Instead, we're going to do is to have app from src nav app. And then in our nav app here, apparently a lot of changes in here, but we still can keep certain things in here. So basically, we're going to have the navigation. So basically, we're going to import navigation from React Native navigation, and we also need to sign in from component sign in. That's something we can keep, but we have to change quite a few things. So before we do that, we will have we will have, because we have navigation imported, so in here we are going to have navigation dot register components, and we're going to have in the component we're going to say client dot sign in like this, and going to have sign in. And also we are going to have navigation start single screen app. And then we're going to have screen client sign in, and title will be login. And this will prepare the navigation part for this app. And also in the sign-in page, apparently, a lot of these things need to be changed. So basically, we can, all of this we don't need at this point. We need import from React Native. We need text, we need view. and all of this. We still need it, but don't need it at this point. So we just need, probably we don't need any of this. We just say view text signing. Okay, so let's see what we can render here. We have login and so we need to say I am login screen. Let's see if the simulator say the same thing. I am login. You see, I'm login screen. So it is rendered. So basically, the navigation for our mobile app works. We just need to implement in our next item. So render is successful. We just need to do our UI work so that we can render what we want it to be rendered. So basically, under this style folder, we probably don't need this form. For this form is more for our web application. So for ourselves, for this project, we probably need to create files like, for example, we need like custom button. We need text input. So basically, in our style file, we need to create a file that's called custom button, and the other one we need text input so that we can use them to implement our UI design. So basically, we're going to say touch src styles. We'll have custom button.js, and at the same time we're going to have text input .js. Okay, so so in our signing here, we know we need Axios to do the post request to the backend server. One more thing we need to do here is that we need to npm install Axios as a dependency. So basically, let me make sure the Node version. So we need to nvm use 10.16.0. Node. Okay, so the version is correct. So we are going to do npm install as Axios. Okay, at the time it's doing npm install, we can do our things in here. We need to import from the styles. One thing is the custom button, and the other one is text input. Custom button. And in here it will be text input. Control C, text input. And let's work on these two files. So first we probably start with our text button. So for this one, of course, the same thing, import custom button, hold on, import React from React. And we also need to import all the React Native components from React Native. So what do we need here? We apparently need style sheet. We need touchable opacity. We also need text and dimensions, and const width, height equals dimensions, and then we're going to get the width and height of the screen. Okay, so then we're going to export default custom button equals to props. Oh, oops. So in here, we will implement touchable opacity. There will be another touchable opacity to close it. And within touchable opacity, we will have text and this should be props title, and this will have a style, our own style, styles.text, and also in touchable opacity here we also have a style equals to styles button, and then active opacity equals to 0.7, and we will have props. Okay, and below this we're going to define our styles equals to style sheet create. We will have button, and we will have a text. Okay. So in the button, we will do the width, should be width times 0.9, height times 0.08, and background color we'll do RGB 255 82 76, right? Okay, border radius goes to 30, align items, I want to do center, and justify content, I want to do center as well. Okay, so in the text we'll have color, I want it to be white, and font size, I want it to be 18, and font weight, I want it to be bold. So this is the style file for custom button, and I will have another one for text input. So in this text input file, we basically to create a text input box to key in login information. So we do the same thing, import React from React. And now we are going to import React Native components from React Native. And in here we have style sheet, and we have text input as input. Okay, so in here we are going to say export default text input equals to props equals to, so in here we just say input style equals to styles dot input, and we also have props, and we have dot dot dot. Okay, then I am going to create the style sheet. Const styles equals to style sheet create. In here we will have input and properties of width. We're going to have 90%. Height is going to be 8%. Okay. Background color will be RGB 242 242 242. Color, we're gonna have RGB 188 188 188. border radius, I'm going to have 30. Text line, I want to do center, and padding right to 3%. Margin bottom, I'm going to have 1%. Okay, so now I have both custom button and text input defined, and in the sign-in component, I can import both of them. And then we just need to implement the sign-in part of the UI. So basically, these are all the codes that's shared from our web app. And because of the high shareability, so we can just restore this. We don't need this because this is React Native. And we probably need some of this, but we need to basically change a little bit for them to be able to be more like mobile kind of thing to make it to work. So basically on change username, we still keep the same. Method name, so it will be username, it will be so basically it's this, right? So I'm going to do, we don't need this at all. Okay, so this is our username, on change username. So basically we do the same thing. Password. Okay, so for the login thing, we probably need some of this, but with changes. So at this point, we just test the UI and make sure we can actually capture the keyed-in information for username and password. So what I want to do for now is just let's okay. So you may want to pay attention to this. This will be slightly different. This is the difference between React Native. It won't work if we just borrow from web. It needs to like do these small changes to make it work. So for the login, I just need to console log the keyed in username and password information. So in here, it will be different for the UI of the login form on the mobile device. So for this part, we probably need to do some of our mobile UI work. So this will be a view under return. So under the return view, let's say we're going to say have a view style style equals to styles. This will be a container, right? And under this big container view, we are going to have text input as we just imported. So text input, under text input, we will do a few things. Auto capitalize equals to none. And placeholder, we want to say username. And on change text equals to this on change user name. Last but not least, value equals to this state user name. Okay, so this will be the same thing for our text input for password. So auto capitalize none, placeholder password. On change text, this on change password. And value this state password. And this will work if we add another custom button here. Oh, of course, the custom button here needs to be wrapped by another pair of views. Custom button oh. So in this view, we're going to have style equals to styles custom button container, and within the button we're going to on press instead of on click. For web we have on press. For React Native equals to this login, and then title equals to submit. And then we will have our style sheet to be defined in here. Const styles equals to style sheet create. So we will have container. We will have custom button container, and so we are going to define our properties here. Lex want to be 1. Align items, I want it to be center, and background color, I want it to be RGB to 255, 255, 255, and the custom button container. I want to align items to be center, height to be 150, and justify content will be space between. And after we finish this coding, let's see if it actually compile. Okay, it says custom button 22.4. Border radius is because of missing a comma. Color supply to invalid probe color supply to style sheet white. So apparently this is not correct. Undefined is not evaluating style input. So text input 8. Text input 8. Input styles inputs. Okay, input style equals to styles input. Input style in equals styles inputs. Styles input in here. Const styles equals style sheet. Style sheet create input. Undefined is not an object evaluating style. Const styles equals style sheet create input style equals to text input as input. Text input. So what happens is we're missing this. Okay, so let's see what happens. Can't find a variable, signing style sheet. So we forgot to style sheet capitalize. This should be none in here. That's another typo. Probably need to use this. Okay. Touchable opacity 62. That's custom touchable opacity. Okay, so it renders. So basically what we try to see if we key in username password, whether or the debugger can console log it. Okay, so inspect. So basically in here, I want to say login. I try to log in again. Jon Snow. And password. So in here, we want to see. Okay, it's not working, meaning this may not be right. So we know. So we found there is a bug here. Actually, this small typo here kills the entire project. So this should not be capitalized. It should be username. After we change that, it's refresh. Jon Snow. Jon. Let's go back. Submit. So it can console log. So the problem is with this typo. This on change username. This should be lowercase. Okay, so basically we finish the second step on the agenda. So the UI works, and actually the UI can capture the keyed in information and the console log. Last but not least, we're going to implement login actually by using this mobile front end. So before we do that, we need to have our server, backend server, to be up. So basically in here, we need to go to root level. We're going to have, let's do this, cd server and nvm use 10.16.0, and we're going to call MongoD, and in here we're going to do node mount. Okay, so in from the code side, basically these are all shareable, except in here we need to define local host of the local host that actually will be on. So on our server, it's 13.17.30.17. A lot of code sharing in here from the web application. Okay, it's from React. So basically now we can try to see if the login works. So basically, again, refresh. Okay. Also from the debugger, I have this as well. Need to clear all this. Okay, let's see. If we submit, okay, so that's because Axios is not defined. Okay, we are good now. We go to here, this, server, this. John Snow John. Submit. You see, it works. Login successful and login with a token as we did from our web application. So basically, we have a very good project for the React Native mobile front end, which can log in our user from this login screen by using this UI. We key in username and password and submit, and the backend can log in. So let's go back to our agenda. As we have seen, we achieved a lot of code sharing, especially the all these methods, this login, pretty much 100%, and also constructor and these methods. So this is a very fun project. I hope you enjoy it. On the following video, we will do actually registration from both the web application and the mobile application by using React and React Native. And again, there will be a lot of code sharing between them. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.